So today we're talking camera equipment and more specifically, what's in my camera bag. Let's do it. Now, before we get into the camera bag video, I just quickly wanted to say thank you to everyone who showed their support on my recent video. It's at like 2,000 views right now, which just blows my mind. I never ever would have thought that I would have a video to even surpass 1,000 views. So I'm just super grateful. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for commenting, liking, and yeah, it just feels good that the work is paying off after many, many years of just trying so hard to get something to work. So I really appreciate it, and there's way more to come from that. Anyways, without further ado, let's jump into this camera bag video. Now, everything that is in this camera bag is stuff that I take pretty much everywhere with me, whether that is on a solo shoot, just on my own time, or for work, for freelance, or even for my actual job. Some of you may know, maybe not, I do content creation for another company for social media and stuff like that. So I do a lot of travel. So this is all stuff that I would typically bring with me. I bring a lot of stuff with me. I'm not exactly a super light packer. I'm an efficient packer, but I don't like to not have something that I think I might need. What's the saying? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's pretty much what I live by. Anyways, without further ado, let's break into this bag right now. As you guys can see, I am using the Mckinnon Nomadic bag. This is the largest version, I think. I don't know if that's 35 liter or what it is. This bag is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best purchases I've made. It's giant, but for me, for everything that I do, it's kind of perfect. I do wedding films, I do freelance, I travel for business. So being able to bring pretty much everything with me is amazing. But enough of that, let's break into the bag. All right, we're gonna start off with the main compartment first. Open this all the way. Well, actually, first I'm gonna just show you, I have in the laptop pouch, I have my MacBook M1 Pro. Great MacBook, great investment. It's about 3 years old now, but it's still going strong. And now into the main compartment. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff in here. This little spot right here was for my Sony ZV-E10, which is what I'm filming with right now. That's a great little camera. It also has the Sigma 16mm lens on it, prime lens. Also a great lens. Main part, we have the Sony a7 III with the 24-105 lens. This lens pretty much never comes off of my camera. It's on there all the time. And then of course I have the small rig cage on here. I am a photographer and a videographer, but even as a photographer, I find a lot of benefit to having this cage on my camera. These are really great too, because it comes with a little magnetized tool that, you know, just as long as you don't lose it, it pretty much stays there the entire time. It's really useful when traveling. And then let's just work our way around. So right here, I have pretty much all of the filters that I carry with me. I, of course, have the Short Stash Everyday filter. This is the 77mm. Love this filter. I don't use it as much as I'd like to, but love it anyways. It's a nice thing to have. And then we have our K&F Concept variable ND filter. This is a 77mm thread, and it's an ND3 to an ND1000. So it gives me a lot of range there on really, really bright days. And then right here, this is just a standard ND filter. Not a variable ND. What ND is this? Okay, so this is also an ND1000 for an 82mm lens. I use this primarily for photography. When I want to get really, really slow shutter speeds, I can do that with a variable ND filter, but sometimes the ND coverage can be kind of inconsistent on a variable ND filter. So I like to just carry around just a standard ND filter. And then moving on to the next spot, actually we'll just start with this little spot right here that I've made up is kind of just a miscellaneous spot for random stuff. I have the DJI microphones. These are the first generation. Absolutely love these. I've been beating these to crap ever since I bought them, just because they're just so useful, so handy, and just really efficient to use. I have some step-up rings in there also. This is so that I can adapt these filters to my Sigma 16 millimeter. I don't have a filter that is the size for the 16 millimeter, so you gotta have some step-up rings. And honestly, it doesn't really make much sense to buy a bunch of filters when you can just buy these cheap step-up rings. And then I have a ball head here for a tripod that I do not think is in my bag at the moment. It's just a mini little tripod, travel tripod that I like to have with me. Now going into the next area, we have my Mckinnon 14 millimeter f2.8 wide angle lens. Absolutely love this lens. I've had this for many years. I'll probably never get rid of it until, I don't know, maybe there's a better option out there. It's very wide, great for real estate, great for landscape photography. My only gripe is the fact that it is an ultra wide lens, and because of that, the glass in the front curves, so you can't put any filters on it, which is kind of a bummer for video, but not a huge deal. And then I have one of these little puffer cleaner things. These are super useful because sometimes you just get dust on your filters, on your lenses. You gotta have one of these. I have gone through an airport once and they legitimately thought this was a rocket. So take note of that, be careful. And then moving on from that, we have my other lens. This is the Yongnuo 50 millimeter f1.8. This is a super cheap 50 millimeter lens, but it's a beast. I think I paid like $100 for this thing, and it's a great addition to the kit. Next up, last thing in that box is my Insta360 Ace Pro. I use this for a lot of my POV stuff, any of the reels that you may see on my Instagram account, or even in shorts where the camera is attached to my camera as I'm taking photos. This is the camera that I use. And then I have a filter thread on here to be able to put a variable ND so I can maintain that 24 frames per second and get that cinematic quality. It also has a diopter on it, and that's because the focus distance on this camera is pretty large, so everything really close to the camera tends to be out of focus. So I have this diopter so that I can fix that. Next up, we have the Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm actually filming with that right now for my up above camera. I freaking love this thing so far. I only just got it. If you saw my recent video, this thing's just a beast. It performs so well. It's so small, and it does not look like it's a little dinky action camera, which is why I love it. The next thing is the MX Master 3 mouse. I take this thing pretty much everywhere with me. I also have the MX Master 3 keyboard, but I do not bring that everywhere with me. It just makes editing super fast, super easy, and that's why I bring it everywhere. I can't even really edit on the trackpad of the Mac anymore just because I'm so used to using this thing. If you're an editor, even if you're a photographer that edits photos, this thing is a beast and it's a game changer. Next up is all of my electronics for my computer. I'll open this. I have my headphones in here. I have a charging cable, a little Apple dongle, a thumb drive in here. This is a 128 gigabyte thumb drive. I use this when I go and film speaking engagements with my boss. Sometimes there will already be a camera crew there getting a live feed of the speaking engagements. So what I like to do is I like to go up to them and I'm like, hey, can you give me the footage? I have a thumb drive here. That way you don't have to get a thumb drive from them, and it's 128 gigabytes. This is not super reliable, but it's nice to have it if you need it. Obviously my Mac charger, I have memory cards in here, all of my Extreme Pro SSDs, cables for that, and that's pretty much it on that. Last but not least in this section is I have a small rig magic arm. This is what I use to attach the Ace Pro to my camera. Next section, There's not much here to cover really, just some random odds and ends that I may need. I have a lens cleaning cloth, a bunch of these quick release plates. I got another one in here. I have a wall plug for a USB. Sometimes I need those. I have a flashlight. I don't really know why I have this in here. Honestly, I think it's just, I guess it's just nice to have. And then in the next pocket is pretty much batteries. I have some AA's in here that I don't know if they're charged. My A7 III batteries, and then my Sony ZV-E10 batteries. And then I've got this lens cloth in here. It's just a completely clean, sealed lens cloth from K&F Concept. We're nearing the end. Very last part, and probably the least exciting, is everything in here in this little pouch. This is a nice little pouch because it's like magnetized. In here I have blue light glasses because I edit a lot and it's kind of a nice thing to have. I have one of these buckles, which is this right here. And then what else? Oh, I have an air tag. This is an absolute must, especially if you travel a lot. It's just nice to know where your bags are at all times. I also have one of these in my luggage and in my Pelican case. And then on this side, very last thing, which is actually kind of cool. This right here is a disposable camera lens for Sony E-mount cameras. I think the company is called Dispo, I believe. Really cool concept. They basically took the little lens out of disposable cameras and 3D printed this little mount to be able to go on Canon cameras, Sony cameras, Nikon cameras. And it creates a pretty cool effect. I haven't used it too much, but it was like 50 bucks and I had to try it. So maybe go check that out. Anyways, that is it for the what's in my camera bag video. I hope you all enjoyed. It ended up being a longer video than I thought it was going to be, but I like to talk because I'm super passionate about my gear and how I use it. But hopefully you found some value in this. If you have any questions about anything that I discussed in this video, leave it in the comments down below and I'll make sure to get to it. We got a lot of stuff planned, a lot of video ideas planned that I'm super excited about. They just need to be filmed, honestly. And I'm pumped to bring them to you guys. So that's it. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.